Have you ever wondered, can your brain really change and adapt over time? Well, you're not alone. This question has intrigued scientists and thinkers for centuries, leading to the exploration of a remarkable concept: the brain's ability to change and adapt. Yes, you heard it right. Our brains, wonderfully complex and enigmatic, possess an incredible capacity for transformation. This capacity, known as neuroplasticity, is the cornerstone of our cognitive adaptability. Picture this: your brain is not a static, unchanging entity, but a dynamic, evolving organ. This adaptability is what allows us to learn new skills, recover from injuries, and adapt to new environments or experiences. In the next few minutes, we'll explore the fascinating world of neuroplasticity, discussing its definition, its power, its mechanisms, and how we can harness it for our benefit. So, are you ready to embark on this journey through the labyrinth of the human mind? Stay with us as we delve into the fascinating world of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, a term you might have heard, but what does it truly mean? Picture the brain as a bustling metropolis, with thoughts and ideas like cars zipping along neural highways. Neuroplasticity is the city planner of this metropolis, continuously remodeling the roads to optimize traffic flow. It's a complex concept, but let's break it down to its bare bones. The term neuroplasticity is derived from neuro, pertaining to neurons, the nerve cells in our brain, and plastic, denoting moldability. It's the brain's remarkable capacity to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Let's delve deeper. This reorganization isn't random. It's shaped by our experiences, thoughts, emotions, and environment. Every time we learn something new, overcome a challenge, or even remember an old song, we're using neuroplasticity. It's the driving force behind our brain's ability to adapt and evolve, shaping our behavior, personality, and even how we perceive the world. Now, there are two main types of neuroplasticity: functional and structural. Functional neuroplasticity is like a detour route. When damage occurs to a certain part of the brain, another area may take over the function of the damaged area, like a neighboring town picking up the slack when a city is hit by a storm. On the other hand, structural neuroplasticity is like city expansion. It involves actual physical changes in the brain's structure, like the growth of new neurons or the strengthening of connections between existing ones. This happens when we learn new skills or information, akin to constructing new buildings or roads in our brain city. So, whether it's rerouting traffic or building new highways, neuroplasticity keeps our mental metropolis running smoothly. It's a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the human brain, proving that we are, indeed, creatures of change. In essence, neuroplasticity is the brain's superpower, its ability to change and adapt. How powerful is neuroplasticity, you ask? Well, let's take a journey into the brain and explore the incredible ways in which neuroplasticity impacts us, from our everyday activities to the most extraordinary circumstances. Imagine the brain as a bustling metropolis, with highways of neural pathways connecting different districts or brain regions. These highways aren't set in stone. Instead, they're like a network of dirt roads, constantly changing and adapting based on where and how often traffic flows. This is essentially what neuroplasticity is all about. One of the most striking examples of neuroplasticity's power is its role in brain injury recovery. When a part of the brain is damaged, it's like a landslide blocking a highway. The traffic can't get through. But neuroplasticity kicks in, creating detours and new routes, rerouting neural traffic around the damaged area. This is why stroke patients, for instance, can regain abilities they initially lost. It's the brain's road construction crew at work, rebuilding and reconnecting. But neuroplasticity isn't just about recovery, it's also about adaptation. Consider, for example, the brains of London taxi drivers. To navigate the city's complex labyrinth of streets, they have to memorize a vast amount of information. Studies have shown that the part of their brain associated with spatial memory, the hippocampus, is significantly larger than in other people. This is a clear demonstration of how our brains can physically change in response to our experiences and needs. Even our daily habits and routines shape our brains. The more we do something, the stronger the neural pathways associated with that activity become, like a well-trodden path becoming a paved road. This is why practice makes perfect. It's neuroplasticity in action. So how powerful is neuroplasticity? It's the architect of our brains, constantly redesigning and rebuilding based on our experiences. It's the driving force behind our ability to learn, adapt, and recover. Whether we're navigating a sprawling city, mastering a new skill, or recovering from a brain injury, neuroplasticity is always at play. The power of neuroplasticity is immense, reshaping our brains in response to our experiences. Now, how does neuroplasticity work in our brains? To answer that, let's dive into the fascinating world of neurons, synapses, and the myriad of processes that happen within the confines of our skull. Firstly, let's talk about synaptic strengthening. This is the process where connections, or synapses between neurons, become stronger the more they are used. Imagine a well-trodden path in a forest. The more it's used, the clearer and more distinct it becomes. Similarly, the more frequently a neural pathway is used, the stronger the connection becomes. Pruning is another key process. It's like the gardener of the brain, snipping away the unused neural connections while strengthening the ones that are frequently used. This process is especially active during our early years, shaping our brain's structure and function in response to our environment and experiences. Then there is neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons. For a long time it was believed that we were born with a fixed number of neurons, and it was all downhill from there. But recent research has shown that new neurons can indeed be formed, particularly in the hippocampus, a region of the brain involved in learning and memory. These processes don't work in isolation. They dance together in a complex ballet, continuously shaping and reshaping our brain. Synaptic strengthening, pruning, and neurogenesis work hand in hand to ensure our brain remains flexible and adaptable. So, every time you learn a new skill, remember a fact, or adapt to a new environment, you're witnessing neuroplasticity in action. The neurons in your brain are firing, synapses are strengthening, unused connections are being pruned away, and new neurons might even be joining the fray. And it's not just about learning and memory. Neuroplasticity also plays a key role in recovery from brain injuries, allowing the brain to rewire itself to compensate for damaged areas. Through these mechanisms, our brains constantly remodel themselves, reflecting our lives and experiences. So remember, every thought, every action, every moment of our lives leaves an imprint on our brain, shaping who we are and who we become. Is it possible to harness the power of neuroplasticity? This is a question that has intrigued scientists and psychologists alike. The answer is a resounding yes. We can influence our own brain plasticity, and that's no small feat. Let's delve into that a little more, shall we? Learning plays a pivotal role in harnessing neuroplasticity. The brain is a dynamic entity, constantly evolving. Each time we learn something new, our brain forms new connections and strengthens existing ones. This is the essence of neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Imagine learning a new language or mastering a musical instrument. These activities involve complex cognitive processes that stimulate the brain, leading to the creation of new neural pathways. Over time, these pathways become more efficient and stronger, enhancing our skills and abilities. But it isn't just about learning new skills. New experiences also play a crucial role. Traveling to new places, meeting new people, trying new cuisines. These experiences can all contribute to brain plasticity. They expose our brains to novel stimuli, encouraging the formation of new neural connections. Now let's talk about mindfulness. You might be wondering how sitting quietly and focusing on your breath can influence neuroplasticity. Well, studies show that mindfulness practices like meditation can indeed change the structure and function of the brain. Regular practice can lead to increased gray matter in regions associated with memory, sense of self, empathy, and stress. That's right, mindfulness can literally reshape your brain. So what does all of this mean? It means that we have more control over our brains than we might think. We can influence how our brains develop and adapt simply by the choices we make and the experiences we expose ourselves to. Indeed, we can shape our own brains through our actions and choices. To sum up, what makes neuroplasticity so significant? Well, we've journeyed through the boundless potential of the brain, defined the concept of neuroplasticity, and explored its incredible power. We've dived deep into its mechanisms and examined how we can harness this remarkable capability. The essence of neuroplasticity lies in the brain's adaptability. It's not a static organ, but a dynamic, ever-changing entity. It's like a river, constantly reshaping its course in response to the flow of information. And the beautiful part? We're not just passive observers of this process. We can influence it, guide it, and even control it to a certain extent. We can train our brains, just like we train our muscles. We can foster new connections, strengthen existing ones, or weaken the ones that no longer serve us. Neuroplasticity is not just a biological process, it's a tool, a gift, an opportunity. Neuroplasticity, thus, is the testament to our brain's remarkable adaptability, a phenomenon that continues to intrigue and inspire.